Have you ever watched someone lie, manipulate, even betray others, and then somehow win? They get the promotion, the applause, the spotlight, while you, the one who tried to do things right, are left behind, invisible, overlooked, and deep down, you start asking, is the world punishing me for having a conscience? Because if life was fair, shouldn't integrity matter more than ambition? Shouldn't kindness carry more weight than cruelty? But what if that belief is the very thing holding you back? What if power doesn't reward the good, it rewards the bold? And what if the people we call bad simply understand something we were never taught? Today, we'll go deep into that uncomfortable truth through the lens of Nietzsche, evolutionary psychology, and the shadows we rarely dare to face. By the end of this video, you'll never see power the same way again. And maybe you'll stop apologizing for wanting it. From a young age, we're told a story that if you're good, honest, and kind, the universe will reward you. Like karma is some cosmic bank account, and every moral action adds to your balance. But then life happens. You see people cheat, lie, exploit others, and rise. And you begin to realize, maybe the world isn't as fair as you were led to believe. Psychologists call this the Just World Fallacy, the belief that the world is fundamentally fair and people get what they deserve. It's comforting. It makes chaos feel controllable. But here's the problem. When you cling to that illusion, you become blind to how the world actually works. You wait for justice instead of acting. You assume your goodness will be noticed, when, in reality, it's often invisible in competitive environments. It's like showing up to a chess match with a deck of tarot cards. Beautiful, but useless in that game. Now, this doesn't mean you should become ruthless, but it does mean you need to wake up. Have you been living as if virtue alone will carry you? Have you confused being good with being passive? Because fairness isn't a law of nature, it's a human dream. And while dreaming is noble, surviving sometimes requires clarity more than comfort. The truth is, the world doesn't punish you for being kind, but it will punish you for being unprepared. And if you want to move through this life with purpose, you'll need more than good intentions. You'll need awareness of the game you're actually playing. Friedrich Nietzsche didn't believe in fairy tales. He saw beyond the masks we wear, the morality we preach, the humility we perform. To him, much of it was camouflage, a way to cover up something deeper. The raw, undeniable will to expand, dominate, express, what he called the will to power. Not power in the political sense, but something more primal. A force inside every living thing, pushing it to grow, assert, and overcome. A tree reaching for sunlight. A lion claiming its territory. A human chasing meaning, creation, impact. Nietzsche didn't think this drive made us evil. He thought it made us alive. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. We've been taught to fear this force within us, to silence it in the name of modesty, to call ambition ego, to see confidence as arrogance. And then, we wonder why those who embrace their power, even unethically, end up ahead. Are you holding yourself back just to look nice? Have you confused self-suppression with virtue? Nietzsche believed that morality was often a tool of the powerless, a way to shame strength, so no one would use it. He called it slave morality, the celebration of meekness as a kind of hidden resentment. But what if your hunger for more isn't wrong? What if your anger, your ambition, your boldness aren't signs of corruption, but invitations to step into your real self? Not to dominate others, but to stop being dominated by your own fear. Power isn't dirty. It's just dangerous in the wrong hands. But in yours, It might be exactly what you've been missing. It's easy to believe that people who manipulate and deceive their way to the top are simply getting lucky. That, eventually, life will catch up with them. That karma is waiting right around the corner. But what if that's not how it works? Modern psychology offers a different and far more uncomfortable explanation. Research into human behavior suggests that some of the traits we label as toxic or immoral can actually offer distinct advantages in competitive environments. Not because they're noble, but because they're effective. People who rise without remorse often feel less empathy, fear less, hesitate less. They know how to charm when needed, intimidate when useful, and detach when things get messy. They don't pause to ask, will they still like me if I do this? They ask, will this move get me what I want? And that difference changes everything. What we see as cruelty might just be clarity without emotion. What we call selfishness could be raw, unfiltered ambition. Now ask yourself, how many times have you held back because you didn't want to make someone uncomfortable? How often have you swallowed your truth to avoid conflict and watched someone else speak half as much and take twice as much? It's not about becoming heartless. But if your empathy becomes self-erasure, it's not virtue, it's sabotage. Those who win at any cost aren't always more capable. They're just less conflicted about claiming space. And until you make peace with the parts of you you've exiled, your anger, your hunger, your desire to own your life, you'll keep watching from the sidelines, wondering why they move while you hesitate. There's a quiet myth we carry buried deep inside us, that if we just work hard enough, wait long enough, and stay kind enough, someone will eventually notice. That the world will come knocking, offering us the life we deserve. But power doesn't work that way. Power doesn't wait. It doesn't ask for permission, and it's rarely handed out like a reward. It's claimed by those who are willing to reach for it, risk rejection for it, even be judged for it. This is why hesitation is so dangerous. In nature, a moment's pause can mean death. And in life, too, the moment you hesitate, someone else acts. Not because they're more worthy, but because they're not waiting to be chosen. You may think your silence makes you safe, but often it makes you forgettable. So many people suppress their voice, their instincts, their boldness, not because they don't have them, but because they've been taught to fear their own power, taught to believe that wanting more is selfish, that taking up space is arrogant. And slowly, they shrink. They smile when they want to scream. They nod when they should speak. They watch others take the very things they were afraid to reach for. Reclaiming your power doesn't mean becoming someone else. It means becoming someone you no longer apologize for. Yes, there's danger in power, but there's danger in staying small too. And the longer you wait for permission to live fully, the more life will keep passing you by, rewarding those who dared to step forward while you remained in the shadows of your own potential. So here we are. You've seen the uncomfortable truth. The world doesn't always reward the kind, the fair, or the patient. It rewards those who move, who dare, who claim, who act. And maybe that stings. Maybe it breaks something you've believed your whole life. But it also opens something new. Because now you're no longer waiting. You're watching with open eyes. And more importantly, you're remembering that power doesn't have to be cruel to be yours. You don't have to become like those who abuse it. You just have to stop fearing the part of you that wants it. That part of you that's bold. That dreams bigger than you admit. That whispers, late at night, there's more in you than this. Maybe you've silenced that voice for years, but it's still there, patient, waiting, powerful. So now the question isn't, will the world give me what I deserve? It's, Am I finally ready to stop asking for permission to be who I am? Because the truth is, no one's coming to save you. But no one can stop you either, once you remember what you are.